Hello everyone, welcome to my video. Today we have the LG C2. The main purpose of this video is to have a really good understanding of everything the TV could do, from the WebOS to the personal settings to the sound and so forth. By the time you finish watching this video, you should have a really good idea of what the whole TV can do. So this is the LG remote. Obviously we have the power button on the top. You have numbers 1 to 9. This is going to be the guide menu. This is basically like a menu button, and then you have the volume button and the channel button, the mute, home, voice control, HDMI, input selector to select the proper inputs, a back, settings. These are dependent on the type of application. Like for example, it'll tell you to click something for approval or accept or record, and then you have Netflix, Prime, Video, Disney, LG channels, Google Assist, and Alexa. So first thing we're going to do is click the home button, and this should bring up what's known as the WebOS. The top left corner is going to show some advertising. The middle is going to show you the weather. Up here is going to show you your sign in. So this would be like your login and account information. Right here, it's going to be your search bar. So if we clicked it, essentially you could search any app or any kind of comedy or drama or TV. All right, and then the next area is trending now. This will show you moves and shows that are trending. Next will be the app list. This will be all the apps installed. Obviously there's things like Netflix, Prime, Disney, Hulu, YouTube, Apple TV, HBO. There's even other apps like LG Fitness. See that you could add other apps right here, sports, alerts, room to room. So that's essentially, you could share some of the content on another LG screen, which is pretty cool. Obviously this is the home dashboard, art gallery, who, where, what, web browser, media play, Alexa, and so forth, and edit app. Let's see what's in the apps. So you come to the apps area, you could literally come and look at new updated apps. So there's like a Food Network app, additional apps always being added. There's also a browser within. I'm not sure who would use this. You could obviously connect a keyboard to this, so that should work out, but yeah. Next area is the home and dashboard area. This is essentially where you'll have settings for the TV and other things that are connected to it. So the home dashboard essentially is going to show all your LG products. Something to mention is if you're connecting a computer, make sure you come up here, click edit inputs, and make sure you change this to a computer. This would avoid any lags when you're clicking, so make sure you get that done. So this home dashboard, essentially all these other apps to the right show what's in the home dashboard. Okay, so that's where we just came from. Next is the Life's Good hub. It just shows additional advertising from LG, frequently viewed channels. I haven't been watching anything, but I'm sure this would get populated. This does come with free channels. I think it's over 300 channels, something like that. And then we have sports alerts. Essentially come here and select your team. I'm definitely a Golden State and Lakers guy, and so you could add to my team. Hopefully this doesn't have you unsubscribe from me, but this is my team. And so we have, and you could even set alarms, search the web, and you could even see related videos and highlights. Something really cool about the shopping channel is while you're watching and you see something like the flowers here, I could just click here and it'll show you exactly how and where to get those flowers. Or say you're watching a cooking channel and you see certain ingredients, or a fashion channel and someone's wearing a certain type of clothes, you'll be able to see where and how much that dress is. Again, it's the web browser. We essentially touched on this a bit. Another section is the now streaming site, where it shows you essentially things that are streaming across your platforms. Some more free TV, new releases are down here, popular cinema. So this one on the left is going to be dependent on your usage pattern, and here is you can manually tell it how you want it. So if we click this, we could essentially say move this up or down, or if we use this, then depending on our pattern, it will essentially organize your most frequent apps. Next up is using hands-free voice control. There's two ways of accessing voice control. You could either hold it, CNN. The second way to trigger voice control is to just say, "Hi LG," and it's there. All right, so I did set up the Alexa already. So for example, you see it's turning on, but right below it's also an Alexa Echo. So I do want to be pretty cautious about that. Damn, these guys are really cutting grass right now. And then we have the input button. So we click this, it will show you the inputs that's connected and you get to select it from there. This is gonna be like a scroll wheel and you can see it moving here. So it's gonna be more obvious at the home area. So if we use this, it's gonna scroll up and down. Now this is known as the magic remote, where you just point at it and then you could essentially select what you want. You know, so we go this way or go to the right, left. This works just like a regular mouse essentially. And then if you want to quickly launch Netflix, Prime, Disney, LG channels. Some quick tips: if you hold the 9 button, it'll essentially open the quick help menu. And so we could click something like optimizing settings. So this would show your current TV settings versus what it recommends. So if we click optimization, it's going to essentially make a difference. So you can see need 1 setting conversion, which means it's muted. Right now I muted it. So if I clicked optimization, this should turn to off. And see, now it matches. What you could also do is click check items. You could do self-diagnosis of the TV regarding the picture, for example. If you have certain things that keep happening, you could select here. It's kind of predetermined. And then you can check the status of your TV. Obviously, this is an OLED panel. And if you're worried about things like burn-in, this is where you'll come. So we'll check OLED panel, click start diagnosis, and there it is, diagnosis results. Just a little fun fact, at any time if you're missing the scroll wheel, essentially you just want to shake the remote and it's going to pop up. Something I recommend setting up is the quick access, and that's generally when you launch an app. For example, let's say YouTube. What I could do is hold the 1 button, and now it's going to ask me, do you want to add YouTube as a quick access number 1? I'll say yes. And now when we go to the dashboard and click and hold 1, YouTube would quickly open. If you press and hold the 0 button, the quick access menu would appear. So you could even do it faster from here. Say add, say we wanted to add Hulu as number 2, boom, it's all done. So that means you could either launch the app and then save it from with clicking one of these buttons, or you come and hold 0 and click add and then select anything from the list. Next is the sound out, which is how you want sound to come out of the TV. It's either it's going to be a TV, an external source, mobile device, optical out, audio out, line wire headphones, and so forth. Next is the game optimizer, which is when you're playing a game, you get to turn it on. So let's say we have on, and then we get to pick you know, an FPS mode and all this will turn on. So I do have my PS5. So all these things would turn on, and we get to essentially go in here and select how we want it to be. So we also could adjust the pictures. With the TV, we're able to do split screen mode. What we'll do is click settings, and then you'll see multi-view on the left-hand side. If we click that, it's gonna open side by side or picture in picture. Well, if we click side by side, we could click another app. So say for example, HDMI 1. So on the left-hand side, we have my computer running. And on the right hand side, we have the LG TV. The OLED Care essentially is a quick way of accessing the features for OLED. So for example, we get to use picture, comfort mode, theater mode, kids mode, device self-care. This deals with things like energy saving mode. This deals with your network to make sure you're connected to the internet, and then all settings. And then we have the edit mode, which essentially we get to move this up or down. So quickly on the pictures, the right is what each of the colors mean. Vivid, standard, cinema home, cinema, game optimizer, and filmmaker mode. There are other picture colors like APS, which stands for auto power saving, and filmmaker mode and expert. Those appear at select signals that come in. So sometimes it's going to be there depending on the content. Depending on the input signal, you could essentially change the aspect ratio. So for example, we could click aspect ratio and user select, and we could go original, which is obviously going to be the original 4:13, which just creates black borders on the side. If we click advanced settings, we could adjust the brightness, color, clarity, reset, filmmaker mode auto. So essentially whenever it detects like you watching something like a movie content, it would automatically switch over to filmmaker mode, and reduce blue light mode, which I like to have on when I'm using the computer. So again, with the sound, you get to select standard mode or other options. Mine is grayed out because of what I've selected. But use TV speakers, we go back, this should be on, so standard, so we get to have the different options here. Something cool, if you have external speakers, say Bluetooth, what you could also do is click use external speakers with TV speakers, so it's going to transmit to the Bluetooth speaker and play out of the LG C2 TV. Alright, now going with the general tab, there is something called Always Ready, and essentially what this does is every time you turn off the TV would technically still be on. It will show a wallpaper, and then you could use also your voice recognition, or let's say you have music connected. Now you can connect your photos to this instead of just a random wallpaper or external storage, and it will pick up photos from there. If you click the up and down button, you could essentially pick the type of wallpaper you want. You could do a clock, an art piece, movements. I like this is pretty cool. Moments, which is just your own thing, or again, if you want to send music from your phone, you could still do that there. The AI service deals with the TV being automated, hence the word AI. It tries to guess the best picture quality, the best brightness, genre, sound, and so forth. Under the AI Acoustic Tuning, your remote is going to be used to tune the environment, and then it's going to try to pick the best sound for the environment coming out of your TV. Definitely more bass. Oh wow. I'll do the more bass boost, but that's pretty nice. It actually did a pretty good job. Clicking the voice recognition help would essentially show you multiple options of you could tell your TV to do. So for example, you could say show me movies, where does the bad guys air, what is that bag, and so forth. Next up is the OLED Care. Essentially, you could go and fix any type of burn-ins, but of course, I don't think this is going to be perfect, but pixel cleaning, basically, it'll try to improve any image quality issues, like image sticking to the screen, which aka is technically burn-in. So yeah, it's going to try to clean that, but as I understand, a lot of people, since the C1, haven't been having burn-in. And so I'm not really too worried about burn-in with using this as a monitor especially, but it is there. Screen move, I do have it on. Sometimes it could be annoying. You actually see the pixels shifting, but I have the option to turn it off, but I'm gonna leave it on for now, but if it keeps annoying me, for sure I'll take it off. So with OLEDs, essentially keeping static images is not a good thing. And so they created something called the adjust logo brightness. Say you've been watching the same channel over and over and it shows maybe ABC News here. Well, you can click low and it will try to turn down the brightness of the logo there. For now, I switched mine to off. The family settings option could be really cool. Essentially, obviously, you could set limits for kids, eye care mode. So you could essentially enable it, disable it. We already have eye care on, volume limit, and then screen time report. You can see how I've been using the TV. Obviously, I've had more time working. So overall, I don't think I put 6 hours of PS5, but if so, that's scary. But yeah, with the channel setting, you get to essentially select which channel you want. So first of all, the channel tuning, make sure is that it only shows channels that have available signals rather than just static images. And then the channel manager essentially lets you select your favorite channels. So you know the antenna mode, cable, you have the LG channel. So if I had cable, I'll select my favorite channels there. Next thing on devices, you could see TV management. You could essentially see information about your TV, like the serial number, model, and so forth. And then something really cool is you could see the total power on time of your screen. External devices obviously is where you'll come and add additional devices like a PS5 controller if you want to play onboard games within the TV. Knocking out the last few, network settings is obviously going to be for your Wi-Fi. The system deals with the language, location, time, safety, your LG account, as well as other things like notifications that come by, and to turn off advertisements and such for it. In case you want, this is also where you could come and change the pointer speed. In case your TV has been speaking to you and you have not noticed, or you have been missing the notifications, you could just click notification and it'll show you a list of notifications. The accessibility menu allows you to access other things for people who have needs. So for example, audio guidance, as you turn it on, it'll tell you as you highlight over certain things, power on the TV on and off, grayscale, invert colors, and closed caption. Lastly is the support area. We could come here, check for software updates, like automatic updates. So I'm obviously up to date. You just come here, click checking for updates, no updates. And then in case anything you need to find, like a user guide, it's all here and it's all set in order. And like we talked about, to access the quick help, you could just hold 9. And lastly are things like privacy and terms. I am making another video to show how I use this OLED screen for gaming, for productivity, movies, and so forth. So guys, you have a very good idea of what the whole TV does. I hope you are able to really learn a lot from this and not have to read the user manual. To make sure you don't miss out on that video, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe, and also hit that notification bell. I should be dropping that video very soon. I hope you guys learned so much about the LG C2.